Hey, what's up, y'all? This is the Mother's House Podcast, and I am Deshaun.
What's going on? This is Corey. Peace to the family. What's up, cuzzo?
Chilling. What's up with you?
Man, just doing the nightly with my cuz. What's going on? Donald Trump is, for Valentine's Day, talking about, giving away SNAP boxes.
Right. So, there was a lot of uproar. There's always uproar about the budget cuts and stuff. So supposedly, allegedly, they're supposed to be, or they entertain the idea of a box replacing food stamps for, low-income people. And the box is basically going to have different items in it that are going to be they're supposed to be like fresh produce from these farms.
We know damn well them produce is not fresh.
Right. They're supposed to be produce from like these farms, these local farms, but the box is hearsay. The box is not really going to happen. What they're saying is, and I actually read it from an article, they said that they never really did any real type of budget inclusions of the box. They didn't really go over the box in none of the hearings. They said the box is more so a distraction to distract people from the fact that they're cutting food stamps.
So this is the real issue. The real issue is not the boxes. It's not about the whole, they're going to, give people, fake canned food, fake canned fruits and stuff like that. This whole thing is about them budget cutting food stamps to a lot of low-income people instead of giving them proper resources to be able to get accurate, healthy foods for their homes.
Right.
That's the issue.
Right. And this actually came from Senator Debbie Stabenow, I believe that's called. Okay. Yeah. Okay. She's the one who said all this stuff. So she said that, they just kind of distracting us. So y'all don't get too caught up on the whole box rumor. It's actually just a rumor. It's literally, they said they tested it out a little bit. They said the food box approach has been tried only in a small demonstration and never been seriously discussed during dozens of congressional hearings on the SNAP program in recent years. So,
does this president, does Donald Trump know what the hell he doing? We already know he don't, but he clearly the people behind him know what they're doing because they doing, they put him out there to do, headline clickbait shit, right? While they back in the backhand cutting programs that's going to affect hardworking and people who are living in low income, poverty stricken homes, which that's damaging and show you the lack of integrity that's within our political system. You know what I'm saying? For the people. That's why we gotta get out there and vote to get real people who really care about, your child and not just theirs. You know what I'm saying?
Right, the harvest box. They call it the harvest box. But in my opinion, it's kind of wrong on the media's part too, because it's like they took something and blew it up.
Yes, it's wrong on their part because they're not doing. This is the problem with journalism today.
But no, they did accurate research. They just did what they needed to do to get clickbait.
No. They didn't do that. They knew the fucking real story.
Right, exactly. They know what's going on.
They just omitted to tell that story because they know people ain't gonna really pay attention to the real story.
Or they like shortened it.
They think.
Yeah, they just put a little insert in there, like, actually, this is all hearsay.
This is all hearsay.
Right.
So we are going to actually do this and do that and do that. See, this is the thing. These media outlets, these journalists, you know what I'm saying? They think people are stupid. They playing like a lot of people are dumb. They don't necessarily do no reading, do no research. And you can say that if you go on Twitter and they think that, but that's not the case for largely majority of people in America. No, people read, people can get things. If you break things down and tell the real fucking story, people look for that. Actually, I think more people are thirsting for the real fucking story. Now we gotta find the real stories ourselves to be able to get to it, which is good because we should have been doing it in the first place. But it's interesting to me that how they spin these rhetoric behind Trump and use Trump as the spearhead for the misdirection, the head pay, the fake pass. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but they are cutting food stamps now.
Exactly.
So that's that's the main thing. They are cutting the food stamps. And media like to. They shouldn't. I mean, that's going to affect our community greatly because everybody knows somebody on food stamps.
Right, facts. But we got to keep in mind the majority of people who are benefiting off of food stamps are white people, middle class white women, and single white, white mothers.
Right, but we still have. It's more of them, but I think our percentage is higher.
Well, that's probably because, our percentage,
Right, so...
Our ratio in America, period, but still at the same time.
Right, so what I'm saying is, it's going to still affect us.
Oh, yeah, big time. It's going to affect us. It's going to hurt a lot of... Like I said, it's going to hurt a lot of us who live in these low-income homes, the Section 8s. You know what I'm saying? It's going to... Section 8 housing.
I mean, even people who don't live in Section 8 be getting food stamps. Yeah, everybody be getting food stamps.
Even students going to be
especially
suffering.
Students,
you know what
right.
I'm saying? Because I remember we had food stamps when we was in college. This is the thing, man. It's interesting how, like I said, it's a lack of integrity on the government, and this basically showing you that the government don't give a 2 cents. Don't care nothing about your family or how your child grow up and fully develop their minds. Because they, one, you're living in poverty-stricken homes. On top of that, you're living in conditions where there's no natural good home healthy resources around your homes. You got a liquor store down the street, probably a shitty grocery store, the liquor store, gas station, check cashing place. You dig what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You got all these things surrounding you, but no real, not one Whole Foods, not one farmer's market right next door to your home. That's why, you gotta pay attention to your local people who are actually pushing, urban farming in your local neighborhoods, or get hip to it and try to do your own local farming for yourselves. Because depending on the government to really support its citizens, we can't do that. We can't keep doing that because we already know where it's headed.
I mean, they supposed to do some stuff. You just got to stay on them and not
Well, you gotta stay on them. I ain't saying the government. It ain't the government. The government shouldn't have to do this for you and this and that and the other. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that look, we know what the fuck they going to do. So how do we combat that? One, you can stay on them all you want. They gonna still do what they going to do because they not run by people. They ran by corporations. They ran by crony capitalists. They're not ran by or for the best interest of the people. They ran for the best interest of corporations and the best interest for people to cut the prices for their pockets. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say, learn to grow your own foods. Learn to, get hip to urban farming. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And
visit your local farmer markets. Talk to your little uncle or auntie who got a little green thumb.
Right. And I agree. There's definitely more that we can do, but my thing is we can't just let government get away with not doing their job either. Hell
no. That's why you go out and vote. That's why you go down and vote.
That's why you cause uproar.
Yeah, that's why you go out and vote. You in Atlanta, you better holler at what's shorty name?
Keisha Lance Bottoms.
You better holler at my sister Keisha and be like, hey Keisha, what's going on with this damn bulljob that Trump trying to push? The tax cuts on the food.
I mean, and from your mayor to your congressman and your representative, and it's a whole bunch of people you can talk to.
Right. I mean, you gotta get involved with your local governments, because this is the thing. If we stay out of the by and just sit here and we can sit here and complain about it. But at the end of the day, if we don't say something or
do something,
show our presence there, we don't make our presence known and our frustrations known, they will keep doing. They say, okay, we can get away with this. We're gonna slide this. Throw Trump right here. We're gonna show them this box. We know it's bullshit. We ain't really gonna do it. Let's go ahead and cut these taxes and see what they really do.
Right.
Oh, now everybody's subsidizing the top. See, exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I wanted to do.
Right.
That's exactly what I want to do. Let's keep cutting. We cut this, and then now let's cut some more on education. Close down some more schools. Cut some food programs for schools. That whole free luncheons. Let's cut that. You know what I'm saying? What else will they cut? By throwing you a head pass saying, okay, we're going to give you a supplement that we are not really going to give you.
Right.
Know?
So it's like, the first thing to do is just to pay attention. Like, I'm going to read another excerpt from it. It says, and this is from Stacy Dean. She's Vice President for Food Assistance Policy and the Center of Budget and Policy Priorities.
Right.
She said that she doesn't think that there's really any support for the box plan, and she worries that it's just a distraction from the budget's proposal to cut SNAP, which is food stamps, by 30%. So it's like you hear some of the Congress people actually saying that it's just a distraction. If they saying it's a distraction, I mean, well, not even all of them, but some of them, then more than likely it's probably a distraction.
I mean, most of this shit that be on news, most of this shit between the Democrat Party to the Republican Party, it's all a distraction.
Right.
That's why you gotta be hip to the game, understand the politics, understand the moves that's happening within your own city, within your own state, within your own country. That's why you gotta get hip to what's really going on. Take a look at these policies and see what's really being led down the pipeline. They're saying we're cutting costs here. So where are you putting the costs at?
They ain't gonna tell you all that. They ain't gonna tell you where they putting money at. They ain't
gonna tell you that. Exactly. They gonna
make up something to tell you.
They gonna let you know they cut something. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't about, it's not necessarily about like, well, cutting costs. Like, you can't call costs, this and inflation and all that, right? It ain't about that, man. It's about having integrity for the human being, for your human fellow Americans. If you're really about your American citizen, this is not in the best interest of American citizens. This is especially for the best interest of capitalist corporations.
Right. So
corporations.
So yeah, the first step is definitely just paying attention and reading, and not just looking at the news, but reading. More than a couple of articles, not just the mainstream news, but some independent news, some other articles, and really being able to form an opinion and be, knowledgeable about what's going on, because it's affecting all of us. Even if it's not affecting you, it's still affecting you, because it's probably affecting somebody who,
your cousin,
your cousin,
your auntie.
They might be begging on your door, and you might have to feed them. So
exactly, that's why, like I said, in the process, because this is the way America is always been. It's always set up like this, right? That's the reason why urban growth, urban farming is very important. It's very integral for survival, period. This is the thing. We got to get into more survival mode. Also, in the same sense, still speaking out your rights, still speaking up for your rights as American citizens, but at the same time, learn to be able to provide for your family at the same time, feed your children, get them healthy nutrients, get them the right amount of water, clean water. You know what I'm saying? Like, we haven't even touched on Flint, which we're going to do shortly. Talk about Flint, Michigan, what's going on up there. We're going to talk about Gary, Indiana. We're going to talk about what's going on in South Carolina with the sewage pipeline there. There's a lot of infrastructures that's falling apart across this country that the government is ignoring.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Due to they want to cut costs. You know what I mean? So, one thing, another
they want to cut
other
people.
Thing,
shit.
Yeah, it affects real people, everyday people, even you, even me.
They want to let people die. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It affects all of us.
Yeah.
That's why we got to look into urban farming. We got to look into things that we can do tangible on the ground. But also keep in mind, there's certain look at your laws in your state. Because in certain states, you can't grow certain things on your own land,
right,
on your own property. Like there's some laws where you can't even collect rainwater
Right.
Like, you can't even collect rainwater. Like, it come out the fucking sky. Why I can't collect rainwater and use that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be hip to these. That's why you gotta learn. That's why you got to read. You got to study, and you gotta stay diligent on those things.
Right, and it don't even take like that much of your time, because these articles that we read, they were short. Like, if you just kind of, I'm not saying don't do other stuff, but if you just kind of put it in your rotation, a little bit of news here, a little bit of news there, you'll be surprised how up on shit you'll be.
Exactly. For real. Like, you don't have to be, Michelle Alexander, be able to break every single thing
like,
down.
You don't have to write a novel and no shit like that.
Yeah, unless that's your field, unless that's what you want to do.
Right.
In order to get you that passionate and that heated about it, and you want to do that, cool. We need people to be speaking up on things like that and give us more information on it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, we got to really be up on these things, and also be able to call it out when our local government or local officials are portraying us in the public eye by telling us, like, they literally piss it on your head and telling you it's rain. That's literally what this whole situation was.
Right.
That's exactly what this whole situation was.
Right.
So, with that being said, you got any last words, cuz?
Nah, stay up.
Stay up, stay woke. Hate and tie that word. But be blessed. Do for yourself, do for your children, and continue to learn on everything that's going around in your neighborhoods. Peace to the family. One love.
I will not raise my daughter differently than my mother raised me. The rearing I got from my mother, words cannot express. I could live in any time, I could live in any country, I could live on any planet, and I would be fine.
What was the key? What did your mother know? What truth was coming through your mother that's going to come through you to your daughter?
My mother gave us aphorisms to learn as children. And the one there are two that stand out foremost in my mind. One is, the inner reality creates the outer form. I learned this when I was in grade school. I was very young. And the other is, the universe bears no ill to me. I bear no ill to it.